Three, two, one. Hello, my friendly acquaintances. Welcome to another episode of Fire Your Boss. Believe it or not, this is episode 26. I was just telling the guys, it seems like we've done maybe 12, but I can't believe we have already completed 25. Jonesy says that's because it doesn't feel like work. That was profound. And with that, I'll have you guys introduce yourselves. Go ahead.
Well, I am Jonesy, co-founder of Conversion Chemistry, along with my partner Frank over there. And yeah, when it doesn't feel like work, and you're producing content, giving value, it makes it's what they say. Time flies when you're having fun, right? And that's what we're doing here. We're making money, we're having fun, we're freeing up time, and helping you do the same.
And I'm Frank Aaron, Jonesy's partner in Conversion Chemistry. And this is fun. I would have said 15, maybe. It sure as heck doesn't feel like 25. No way, man. But you know what? We're having fun and we're helping other people and giving value. And oh my God, am I revved up for this topic? As soon as I saw we were covering this today, I'm like, yes, this I can get excited about.
How appropriate. And the conversation that we were having before I pressed record was at the part-time job where I work, whenever there is idle time, the people that I work with, coworkers, all they talk about is when they're going to retire. Literally, like one guy will say, yeah, I'm next year is my retirement year. Oh, okay, cool. You going to do anything? You going to get another job, go work part-time somewhere? Nah, man, I work, 25 or 30 years. I'm done. No more working for me. And I'm like, okay, all right, must have really loved that job then. And then the other guy, then he'll ask the other guy, so how long you got? And I'm telling you, these conversations go on every single day that I am there. Guys like, I got 7 years, 3 months, 2 weeks and 1 day and 6 hours to go. Like literally, these people are counting down to retirement. I'm like, can you imagine going to something where the most exciting thing of the day is you are counting down till retirement? I can't imagine that. And we were saying that these people took this job for quote unquote job security. And my part-time job is with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And you've heard people say, yeah, man, my brother just got a job with the state, or with the county, man, he's all set now. What the hell is all set? That's what I want to know. What do you mean when people say, oh, you're all set? There is no job security. There is none. They can say goodbye to you at any time. Like you might take a job just for the quote unquote medical benefits and pay, share in the payment of your medical benefits. But if you look at that, $200 to $400 to $500 a month, where you're paying a portion of the premium for your medical benefits, what if you did your own thing and just put away $500 a month? And when you had to go and go see a doctor, you negotiate a cash price, like $125 for a doctor visit or something like that. And I know people that do that. They negotiate cash prices for everything that they do. And that still comes out cheaper than putting out $200 to $500 a month with your employer in sharing the medical benefits. So there's this illusion of job security, illusion of benefits, but the delusion, I should call it the delusion of job security rather than the illusion. We think we are all set. We think we're all set. I came up in the healthcare arena that kind of like crossed over a little bit into the forensic arena, working with inmates and people adjudicated by the courts, teaching in a few different colleges. And I'll never forget one hospital I worked at got bought out by another hospital. And the first thing on the chopping block were the senior executives. I was one of them. They literally hired somebody at half my salary. Literally. It wasn't a personality thing. I am sure it was the controller. I'm sure it was an accountant. I'm sure it was a numbers guy that said, give me the top 10 salaries at the company and let's see if we can do something about that. And we all met the chopping block. It was crazy. And it was a good job too. And that kind of that was my first delusional moment that I'm not in control of my career. That as long as there's other people involved in it, in the decision-making process, I'm not really in control. It's like, if you're still making payments on a vehicle, do you really own that car? No, the bank owns it. Until you get the title in your name, the bank owns it. Same thing with your home. Try stop paying a mortgage payment and you'll find out quickly who really owns your home.
Exactly.
So who really has a solid job? Who really is set? Nobody, except the self-employed entrepreneur or someone who's got a side hustle. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Jonesy.
Set is not a thing. Even entrepreneurs, typically one of our bigger problems is always having our eyes open for the next opportunity. And, I do that with balance now, because valuing free time and having more free time is one of the reasons why I became self-employed, became an entrepreneur. And I don't want to sacrifice that. I could be doubling my income right now, by just simply working the amount of time I worked for an employer. But man, the free time is amazing. I can't speak enough about that. That's one of my whys. So you have to ask yourself why. And you can re-answer the question, periodically, maybe annually. You say, all right, you know what, this year, I'm going to work 50, 60 hours a week on multiple side hustles, or, whatever your situation is, or maybe your first side hustle, to set the stage for the future. I always like to front load work to then free up time, which I know isn't probably the best because tomorrow is not guaranteed, but I've survived 100% so far. So I do know that if I set myself up for success tomorrow, then tomorrow, future Jonesy is very, very happy about past Jonesy's decisions.
Future Jonesy, I love it.
Current Jonesy, I had a lot to say about past Jonesy for a major portion of my adult life, and we're not doing that anymore. Thanks, therapy. So the illusion of security. All right. Well, so even as an entrepreneur, I've rewritten the rules for myself. Really, honestly, we're just doing what, the billionaires and ultra rich doing on a different scale, because the game is there to be played, and you can delude yourself into thinking that you don't belong there. And I'm not going to self-limit or put limitations on anybody. I don't care if I ever become a billionaire or not. It's not, in my plans. I have no designs for it. But if it happened, it's because I'm doing the same things I'm doing now. That's why these tax laws exist. That's why these opportunities exist. George, you talked about health insurance as being a reason why people stay with an employer for so long. And insurance being tied to employment is one of the ultimate scams of our lifetime. However, when you change the way you think and you start treating your entrepreneurial life as a business, we always recommend, we're not lawyers or accountants, disclaimer, you have an entity or entities for your business. But health insurance is 100% deductible for individuals, entrepreneurial individuals who are self-employed. So there's ways to, treat it like a line item as though you're running a business. And thus, the way I frame it is, okay, you know what? This one client pays for my health insurance. That's it. It's money in, money out. I never see it because it's basically being paid, and then at the end of the year on my personal taxes, it's deducted because it's above the line, below the line, whatever one, deductions after the business expenses. But in my mind, I treat it like a business expense, as though I was an employer paying for my own health insurance. Then you can do like health savings accounts and stuff like that, where, you just put in, we'll just use the example, half of what you'd be paying on a health insurance premium, put that into a pre-tax deduction account. And now you basically have health insurance money you can use. And then there's tax benefits with that. So that there's a real numbers game with it. Then there's the mindset of the security, right? We're all line items. We're talking about line items. We're all line items as employees. And restructuring, mergers, acquisitions, you get consultants, bean counters that come in. They don't care about your life. They don't care about your personality. They don't care about your contribution. All they care about is that bottom line. And George, as a highly paid executive, you're under the absolute microscope. And yeah, can you be replaced with somebody half your age and half your salary? Yep, that's what they're going to do. Ageism is real, folks. What's interesting is, George, I think we've talked about your actual number age, so we'll bring it up again. You're at the retirement age, so to speak. But baby, I feel like you're just teeing off in entrepreneurship right now. Like it's a new round here. Because retirement to me just sounds like you're the sad, tubby suburban white guy sitting, cursing kids, watering your lawn, doing nothing with your time except for being angry about things versus enjoying.
I can't imagine that. I was just talking to a guy last week, his best friend that he grew up with, announced his retirement at 60. And on a Friday, he left work. He died of a sudden heart attack in his sleep on Saturday night, literally like 24 hours after he retired. And I thought, oh my God, I think planning the retirement is like planning his death.
Yeah.
And
I've heard that
my,
more than once too.
yeah. And
People
I forget.
retire and they're dead.
Yeah, the average length of years after retirement a person lives is something like 7 or 9 years, something like that. And I thought, like, it's almost like the countdown clock begins as soon as you retire. And one of the things, like, I'll never forget an interview that I saw with a 100-year-old architect who was still working, you know, at his firm and whatever. He wasn't working 40 hours a week because he was 100 years old, but he still went into work every day for a few hours, every single day. He was very competent. And during an interview, they said, how do you live to 100 and keep going to work every day? And his reply, you thought it would have been profound. He says, don't die. And it's very simple. Don't die. I've always said the three biggest causes of death are retirement, doctors, and stupidity. Doctors, in the sense that, here, try this drug for 30 days. Doc, I'm feeling this pain. Well, here, try this, come back in 60 days. So you're kind of like a lab rat. You're a guinea pig.
That's how we do marketing. We take an educated guess and try for 60 days, except for in marketing, we don't deal with human lives.
Yeah. Stupidity is you need to reach up on a top shelf. So rather than grabbing a step stool with like rubber bottoms, non-slip bottoms, you grab a chair or a milk crate, which slips out, you know, you break your hip or crack your hip. So we have doctors, stupidity, and then retirement. And I will never forget just reading those stats of how long people live after they die. They feel they deserve to not work. And what they're really saying is, I've hated my job my entire life. I hated my career and I can't wait to leave it. No one says you have to work full time. No one says you have to work 40 to 60 hours a week. I ask people all the time, yeah, I'm retiring next March. Oh, you're going to go down to part-time, or you're going to do something different? You're going to pursue? Nah, I'm not doing any of that. I worked too hard my whole life. And I'm like, so you hated what you did your whole life. So now you want to reward yourself by doing nothing. Good for you.
That's a good plan.
Reward.
Good plan.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. So I love the idea of, even though I'm at quote unquote retirement age, I don't want to get near retirement. No, I don't want to get near it. I still want to produce. And I think, especially for men, I think it's important. Men need to produce. Men need a product at the end of the day, whether it be a pocket full of cash or a widget that they created, or pursue an idea that was on the back burner. They had an idea for a product or improving a product for years, and they just didn't have the time to do it. Well, guess what? Retirement is now time to do that. Who knows? You might end up having a second career creating widgets or whatever, improving products, or utilizing your intellectual capital. You didn't spend 30, 40, or 50 years for nothing. There's somebody somewhere, a company, a firm, a small group of people who can benefit from your experience. By retiring and not doing anything, what you're really saying is, I did nothing of value.
You did for somebody else, pretty much.
For someone else. Yes, exactly. Your thoughts, Frank?
You're just a paid lab rat. Oh, I got plenty of thoughts here. So hold on. I'm going to hyper-oxygenate because I'm going to need this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me tell you something. People. You think there's job security? No such freaking thing. All right. First job as a kid, delivering newspapers in New Jersey for the North Star Ledger 7 days a week. You know what they did? After, right as I was graduating high school, they got rid of all those guys and they had the company deliver the newspaper. You weren't even secure as a friggin' newspaper carrier. Then I get a job at Nork Slip, like kind of like a drug fair, or two guys to age myself a little bit here. The department store, right? A little bit of everything. Stock boy, gone out of business. Next thing I do, work for a machine shop rebuilding car and truck engines. Owner retired, gone out of business. This is all after I left every one of these. I was able to keep skipping on the rocks across the pond until I got here. Next one after that, not one, not two, not three, but 4 freaking Dodge dealerships, either assistant parts manager or parts manager. All 4, where are they today? Gone. No job security. Next on the list. Okay, then. So then I get my tractor trailer license. First company I drive for, gone. The second one might still be there. I'm not sure. I don't even care to know, but let's say they are. Let's say it's the one place that's still doing something. I think they're out of business, but I can't say for sure. Next one, gone. So then I got sick of that, and I was like, let me go back to school at night, right? So I got my logistics, my transportation and distribution management degree. I interviewed with Northwest Airlines for an upper lower to lower middle management position. They merged with Delta Airlines. Gone. I would have had to move to Atlanta, or more properly, more possibly, I should say, I would have been laid off and let go. Gone. Interviewed at a General Motors plant in Linden, New Jersey for the inbound rail transportation manager's position. Any of you guys want to take a guess what happened to that one? You're right. Gone. Gone. Would have lost my job. It's a brownfield. You would never know there was a freaking assembly plant where they built Camaros and pickup trucks and everything. Gone, man. Gone. All those union jobs, all those jobs that they worked so hard for and went on strike for.
Are you going to say gone?
Yes. At the risk of repeating myself, they're gone. Right? Next one. Oh, let's see here.
This would make a great speech at a conference, because like just about when you're going to say gone, you point to the audience and like all at once, 500 people go gone.
Well, the people at home can do that now, George. You know, we may never know, but we'll take the feedback. All right. So listen, I'm still moving through my list here. So then I interview with the railroad again, gets merged, but gets bought out by 2 other companies. I would have been middle management. What would I have been? Gone. Okay.
Gone.
Nearing the end, my last full-time job, 7.5 years. And I fell into that mode of, this is the rest of my life. This sucks. I hate my boss, blah, blah, blah. I left for entrepreneurialism. Guess what happened to that company a couple of years ago? With the steady job, I would have been there 20-something, 30 years, maybe, easily. I think I started that in 86. So I would have had a 25-year run. Bought out because the owner was unfortunately an alcoholic and ran the company. Gone. Yes. Now, last thing, even my part-time job that I worked for 1994 to 1996, driving tractor trailer 2-3 days a week while I built my business, gone. Here we go. Job security, whoop, out the window. There we are, people. So don't freaking sit here and tell me, oh, I got a good job, I'm secure. Ain't no such thing, baby. Management changes, company gets bought out. Matter of fact, my last full-time job, I started right after they got bought out because that owner died. And I was gone 20 years before that company got bought out again because the owner was, alcoholic. It's an illness. But anyway, I won't get into it, but it was still, didn't listen to anybody, didn't do the right thing, even in the sober moment. So where was the security? There's no security. Man, you could be yeah, exactly, George. You could be a garbage man. And you know what? They got these freaking robot trucks with the arm that comes out now. Yeah. One driver. You know the guys on the street? Gone. The guys that live at the gone. So garbage, government every so many years restructurings. And believe me, you can have tenure. Your ass is still gone if somebody wants you gone bad enough. Don't fool yourselves, people. This is the only way. And it feels insecure at the beginning because you don't know it. You're not sure if it's going to work. Hey, that's life, man. You don't know if it's going to work or not. You got to try it. I rest my case. Yes.
Nomination for title of this episode: Your Job Security, gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah. Seriously, yeah. These people, I can't do this. I don't want to try. This is too risky. Freaking A. I dropped $4,000 on a career counselor, George, after I got my degree. You know what that guy did? $4,000. He looked in the newspaper and answered ads for me. Bernard Haldane Associates, Princeton, New Jersey. I'll never forget it. God bless that guy, man. All he did was answer job ads that he thought I might be. I'm paying him $4,000. And that's what I was taught. Oh, get a better job. Get a better job. My Uncle Donnie was a Teamsters truck driver. Do you know what happened to Bruno and Dalia paper? The driving for the New York Times? Gone. You would think delivering the New York Times and picking up the discarded paper was a safe job. Gone. The newspaper by my Dodge dealership that published every day? Gone. I
Yeah.
am a broken record now. Name me a job. It's gone, man. There's no security. It's a fallacy.
Yeah. I don't think any jobs that exist now existed 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Very few, unless it's, I'm thinking about like institutions, people who might be teachers or correctional officers or working at actual institutions. There's stability there, but you're still walking on eggshells because some numbers guy can get rid of you at any moment. You can be
Yeah.
so well liked,
Yep.
but a numbers guy isn't going to say, he's going to come up with the 10 highest paid people and make a decision that heads are going to roll. Doesn't matter if you're the nicest guy in the world. Doesn't matter.
I know 2 government employees. I won't say names. However, they also both have side projects and side hustles that are arguably as lucrative and profitable as their government jobs, which we do obviously recommend.
I mean,
Yeah.
George, even a teacher, they passed the school budget this year. Guess what? You're laid off. Even if you have tenure, it can happen. They just, I forget what town it was in New Jersey. They just closed the grade school because of budgets. They closed when I moved to New Jersey, to a different part of New Jersey. My school that I went to from 2nd grade to 4th grade, they closed it and knocked it down. And yes, those teachers were absorbed. But what if they didn't need a 3rd grade math teacher or something like that at the new place? You're like, even if you're not gone, you can be reassigned, you can be moved. I've had friends that I met, they moved here from Colorado. They were here, didn't like the job. They went back to Colorado. Imagine uprooting your family's life twice in like 4 years. No, for the man, hell no. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to say this, that the only security that you, my friendly acquaintance out there, have about your income, your job, the only security you have is the security you create for yourself. As long as you are working for someone else, your employment is always in someone else's hands. Your income, your revenue. I started probably when I was about almost 10 years ago, 55 years old, almost 10 years ago. I will never forget a water main break on the street where I was cutting hair at the time. And the streets were closed and being ripped up, 2 blocks in each direction. The place where I was cutting hair had to close because Pennsylvania state law says you have to have running water in order to open a salon. So literally the place was closed for 2 weeks. So a water main break came in between me and my revenue. I'll never forget one time, I don't know, it was 10 years ago, 2014, 1.5 feet of snow. The owner called and said, we're closing today. The roads are too crazy, whatever. So snow came in between me and revenue.
Yeah.
2020, the place where I cut hair part-time now, closed because of the pandemic. So that there's so many, I told people, make a list of what can possibly, or what has come in between you and your income, what can possibly come in between you and your income, and literally snow-proof your income, water main break proof your income, pandemic proof your income. I've been tempted to open up a barber shop or a salon. I've been very tempted, or even just a pizza place or something. I like working with the public. But I'll tell you what, if another pandemic comes down, the government's going to come in between me and my money again.
Yeah.
And if it happens again, and I know the government keeps effing with us, and the government is not your friend, and the government is the real organized crime. I probably should edit that out, but
No, you should leave it in. Put a bunch of exclamation marks dropping down from the top of the screen.
Exactly.
Because it's true.
Exactly. But I literally had to ask myself, if I open up a barbershop or a salon, is it going to be pandemic proof? What if another decree comes down from the Capitol? Like I couldn't even walk in my walking park here It was closed during the pandemic. I will never forget. You weren't even allowed to go and walk in a park. What the hell? Which of course turned me into a libertarian, because not a single partisan of the two parties did anything about it. Everybody was like walking lockstep. No one questioned it.
They don't care about you. Doesn't matter what side you're on. They don't care about you, individual.
Exactly. I became a hardcore, well, not even libertarian. I became a hardcore independent. When people say to me, "Are you a Republican or Democrat?" I go, "Neither." They go, "Oh, you're a libertarian?" I'm like, "No, not even that. I'm an independent," which means I'm independent of anyone trying to tell me how to think. Period. Period. And that 100% has to do not with my sexual choice, not with my wallet, not with what's going on in my bedroom or whatever. It has to do with my income. Leave my friggin' money alone. Well, guess what? The government's not listening to me when they say leave my money alone. So I got to change. If I keep complaining, the only one to blame is me. Yep. And that's when I really started deciding I really got to get my shit in gear here and start generating my own income that's snow proof, water main break proof, pandemic proof, layoff proof, you know, the new boss doesn't like me proof, like whatever. Fill in the friggin' blank. We are responsible for our own security. And you can only get away with blaming for so long. When you're with movers and shakers and people who make shit happen, they will not allow you to make excuses. The average Joe will say, "Oh, I'll pray for you. Oh, that's too bad. They'll feel sorry for you. Oh my God, that's horrible." No one's got the answers except you. You have the answers for your own income. That's why we're doing Fire Your Boss, because we want to pandemic proof your income. We want to snow day proof your income. We're tired of hearing story after story of, oh, my company got bought out and then they liquidated my department or something. Like, oh my God. All right, that's my rant. Jonesy, do you have a rant?
I guess I'll do my sign off, and I'll keep it short, which is weird for me, but unless you're in control, you have no control. So take control. Fireyourboss.win.
Mic drop. Mic drop. Take that mic and drop it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll repeat that. It's fireyourboss.win. Is there anything special at fireyourboss.win that the audience needs to know?
Everything is special at fireyourboss.win. A lot of good stuff on there. However, Conversion Chemistry's Fire Your Boss Blueprint is now 75% off using promo code Bruno. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
That's crazy.
I keep getting yelled at for these discount codes, but whatever.
Another discount code? Oy vey.
We are going to liberate as many people as possible.
75% off.
75% off. So get it before it's what, Frank?
Going up in price or gone
or
discontinued. There we go.
Hang on. Let's try that again. It's 75% off until that discount is what, Frank?
Gone.
It's a new catchphrase. We'll work on that.
Frank is the new Crazy Eddie.
Yeah.
Our prices are insane.
I knew people. My dad knew Crazy Eddie from the appliance business, and the stories he could tell. Crazy Eddie Antar, boy.
Frenetic Frank Loverboy Garin.
This was chill. I think, George, you even have shown me. I don't know how that happened. I have to get more angry but on my other video, you watch that one, and I equal you, if not surpass you. I'm like, what are you people doing? You know,
flipping tables.
Yeah, it was funny. There's just no security.
If that guitar gets smashed at some point, that'll make my life.
Oh, like
that would be great. That would be
like Pete Townsend.
We have to buy like a $5 guitar, like at a garage sale, and put it like in his office so he can get up like really just like pissed and like smash it. And,
I'll do it. Oh,
that would be a riot.
Yeah, with our dumbass luck, it'd be like some 1982 Martin signed by Les Paul and Jesus Christ themselves, and then we'll smash it and realize it was worth 10 G's.
I'll get it appraised first.
I was watching AMTV this week, and he's all about getting your money out of the banks and doing all kinds of crypto and real estate and this kind of stuff. And plus, he talks about a lot of prepper stuff and bugging out. And with everything that's going on, he gets so hyped up, like he'll do it from his back patio. He'll make a video, and then he gets mad. He picks up one of the patio chairs and throws it in the pool, kicks the table and stuff like that. And this week he said, he goes, people ask me why I always yell. He goes, because you like it when I throw chairs in the pool. It was so funny.
You talk
Anyways.
about prepping, right there, right
All
there.
right.
Survival 101, baby, right within arm's reach.
We're going to need it, man. We're going to need it. You got to figure out 10 ways to start a fire without matches. That's going to be the first assignment. So
There you go. Week by week,
All right.
the Preppers 52-week course to total disaster readiness.
I love it. We're
Yep.
ready. Bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Bring on the snow day.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. End of episode 26. Find us at fireyourboss.win. Use the promo code Bruno for 75% off. Thank you, my friendly acquaintances. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Jonesy.